Did you know that your fairings on your 2020 S1000 to 2024 S1000 can fit on a 2025? So you're able to swap fairings. I'm about to show you that in this video with BT Motor.
Welcome back, guys, and today I got a really cool video. We just got our
Cool video.
2025 S1000rr yesterday, and we also have our 2023 S1000 out here as well. Now, the 2025 is really a polarizing bike. I've seen a lot of compliments about it, saying this is the best looking bike they've ever produced. BMW cooked with this one. On the other side of the spectrum, we got people saying the wings are the ugliest thing they've ever seen in their life. Why did BMW do this? They're useless for street use, blah, blah, blah. So this is going to be your definitive guide for what fits from the 23 to the 25 and what fits from the 25 on to the 23. I'll also be going over changes I see in the bike from the 23 to 25 model, even the smallest changes that I notice. I'll let you guys know. I think it's best to start from the rear of these bikes and work our way forward because
the S1000 2025 has got a lot of critiques. I even critique a bit. I'm even critiquing it a bit because of the whole warranty thing and the motor and the oil, and so I'm still waiting for it to maybe hit like 6 months in our market, which is in South Africa, and then I'll make a full review on the bike.
the rear of these bikes have the least amount of changes from the 23 to the 25, while the front has the biggest changes from the 23 to the 25. And if you guys don't have time to watch the entire video,
I think the motor and the fairing, no, I think the motor and the frame are virtually the same.
that's cool. We have chapters in the description. Just skip to the part you want to see. First test here is going to be the tail. Let's go ahead and pull this off. It's going to be the easiest thing to pull off. There she goes. OEM tail gone. Let's go ahead and put.
Okay, I want to see the part where they actually swap out the frame, so I think I'm going to skip. I'm going to skip to the front. Let's see, passenger frame and swing arm. Wadi. That's still the same. Tail tidy, seat lowering. Okay, the seat lowering. Let's watch that. Because for all the short guys, the seat lowering could actually help you out.
M1000rr, and as you can see, it is a wider seat. Wider, longer, and taller. You can see the bump right there. It's about an inch taller than the standard seat. So if you're a short king out there, you may want to swap this seat to something else like this. Now it is a T25. The bolt's right here, and I've already loosened it. It's on both of them the same way. So if I want to take this off, I want to take this one off. I'll put this one on the ground. And we'll take the 23 seat and put it here on the 25. Right there, fits right on.
Okay.
So if you're a shorter rider, I'd probably recommend what they call, I think, the comfort seat at this point. It's this seat right here. It's not really comfortable, but it is, I guess, more comfortable than a taller seat if you're shorter. Or you can go ahead and get the BT Moto lowering link, which you can see right here I have on the back of the bike now. That's the lowering link right there that BT Moto offers. It's a simple swap. It just swaps out that stock dog bone right there, which we'll also be doing to this bike later. And now that we have the seats off, we can see into here, and you can see not much has changed. We still have that same lithium-ion battery. We still have the same ABS module here. Still even the same plug setup. You can see right there.
Okay, I'm gonna skip forward to where they swap out the fairings. That's the part that I really want to see the most, because I know majority of the front of the bike is the rear of the bike is almost the same. I just want to see the side panels. Okay, let's see reverse and quick shift. Let's see that part. Oh yeah, like switching it over to GP shift and stuff. Let's see
same location as we do in the previous years as well. Now the rear set on the 2025 is different. This is more from the M1000rr, and you can see right here, this is the older version of the 23 version we have on our 23 that came with the billet pack.
Yeah.
Now the billet pack comes with these ones. I like these ones better personally. And if you want to change out, let's say, the position of this, you got all these pegs here. You can't lift it up because it's not under there. What you have to do is do like a T20 right here, pulls out. This whole peg will come out, and then you can remove the screw that's in there and put it to wherever you like here to adjust that location. And you can also adjust this. This goes standard shifting and GP shifting, which I'll actually swap out because I got big clown feet. Another thing I usually...
That's very cool that you know the ease of changing it from normal shifting to GP shifting. That's very cool. I know on the older generation, like the 2015 and lower, no, the 2014 and lower, you're not able to do that. To be able to change it to GP shifting, you have to do a whole host of things. But from the 2015 upwards, changing from normal shift to GP shift is just, just the move. You just move the rod and it's GP shift. So that's it.
Pull off is this nub right here. Just get rid of it. This is simple. It's just a T30. There is a washer behind it. I'm gonna be careful with that. I'm just gonna move this over. And you can have two holes here depending on what size you want this or what height you want it at. Now, there's really no wrong hole to put this in as far as which hole to put it in. As long as you don't change the length of this bar here, you'll be fine. All you gotta do is put it in these holes here. I'm finding the outside fits best with my foot. And you wanna put a little dab of non-permanent Loctite on this because it's in part of the rear set and the shifter. There's a lot of vibration here. And you don't want this to come too loose and fall out.
Yeah. And what I know is the blue Loctite, not the red Loctite, if I'm not mistaken. If I'm wrong, guys, please correct me. Done.
And there we go, all done. So anything change with the wheels or anything? No. We still got the same, you see right there, 46 tooth rear sprocket with a 17 front.
We don't want to hear all that stuff for now. So we're going to skip forward to where they do the fairings. We know that the belly pans, they're basically virtually the same. Levers, front fender, let's go. Okay, yeah, this is what we want to see.
A new fender with the air ducts on the new 2025. Let's see if we can fit that onto the 2023, or if you don't like the air ducts, let's see if we can fit the 2023 version onto the 2025. This is really easy, it's just a couple T25s. Oh, they really put them in there, huh? Wow.
That's tight.
Assuming this is Loctite, yeah, a little bit of Loctite.
Yeah. That one was easier.
All right, we've got the fender off the 25, and we can see here, this is the look of it right here, and we have some interior pieces here that dictate the coloring, it looks like. So it looks like that's a separate piece right there. So it looks like we can probably change the coloring here if you guys really wanted to.
I thought that was
Another
paint,
thing
so
I
it's actually a cover.
hate is these reflectors. Let's see how they come off.
I'm sure you can just pull those off. But it's probably going to leave like an indentation.
Wow, they just pull off with your fingernails.
Yeah, look at
There's
that
a reflector.
indentation.
And this is the horrible part I don't like. There's an indentation in the fender now that we pulled that off. I still don't like the fender on there. I'm going to leave it off, but that shouldn't have an indentation like that. That is ugly work.
Completely.
It's the same deal with the 23 here. It's just two T25s. That's not supposed to happen. I just broke the head off of my bit. Craftsman quality.
Oh, Lord.
Luckily, I have a spare. You should always have a spare of the tools that you use the most.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and see if this one rips off. This is also going to be thread locked, so that's why it's probably giving me some issues. Now, I am noticing these screws are definitely smaller.
Maybe that could pose as an issue. I don't think it will actually, but let's...
So while we're here, let's just try and put the 25 fender on the 23. Let's see if that works first.
That should line up if I'm not mistaken. Just use the longer bolts on this one.
So here it is. This is a 2023.
See?
The 2025 fender. This is what it looks like here from the front. So it looks like from the side.
It's the same thing.
Actually, it's not a bad look on the 23 at all. I have one in carbon, of course, and we have the carbon one coming. And again, this square is crazy work. Now that we know that the 25 fender is going to work on the 23, it's pretty sure that the 23 fender is going to work on the 25. Let's just see how it looks, though. And here you go. This is the 23 fender on the 25. Fits perfect. Only difference here between these two is going to be the bolt and the fender itself. So the bolt is definitely a different size between the two here. You can see on the fender that doesn't have the brake cooling ducts, the bolt is very small.
Yeah.
Whereas it's very long with the air ducts. So it'd be a bolt and the fender itself, and that's it. Okay, I think next we should move on to the mirrors now. Let's see if these Rizomas fit from the 23 model. To remove the mirrors is a little more complex than most would think. It's a 10 and a 10. Those are both the nuts right there to get out to the mirrors. Now they'll physically come out, but then you have wiring. And the wiring is actually under all this paneling. So I have to pull out the windscreen. I also have to pull out the top here, and then the actual connectors are right here and here underneath this plastic panel underneath the windscreen. And the windscreen itself is going to be 4 bolts, 1, 2, 3, 4, and it slides out. And this is exactly the same, the 25 as the 23. The only change I'm seeing here, which looks like it's different, you see this gap right here. This gap doesn't exist here. Now that's not because of the actual screen itself. You can see right, the angle of this goes into straight here. The angle of this should be going straight here, but actually angles out here, it kicks out. So this piece under here is different than this piece right here. And we'll be talking about that in a second after we get to the mirrors here, but let's start with removing this windscreen. And when I do the windscreen, the washer's always at the bottom of this. There's no washers at the top of it, so always keep track of that because that's good for this. And if I were you, The only way to clean it is to actually remove the windscreen. And these grommets don't last forever, so I'd probably get a spare set of grommets so I can just kind of go through, and if they kind of fail, just get new grommets to put in there. Makes it much easier.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
Now we're at the front here. This piece usually just pulls out. Yep. This is exactly the same as the 23 model. This is really easy. Hook, pull up.
That's for the mirrors, for the indicators on the mirrors.
Now that those are disconnected, we just need to get the 10s out of here and the whole mirror will pull out. So make sure you don't drop these nuts down into the fender.
These nuts?
Just make it that much longer to do everything. All right, now it's time to install the Rizomas. See if they get a good fit.
I think they'll fit with no issue.
Looks good. Yep, those mirrors for sure fit. So now we know the mirrors are gonna fit, I'm gonna go ahead and pull this off again so we can start working on the front end of this bike and see what works and what doesn't between the 23 and 25.
In that case, I wonder if the top fairing bracket is the same as well.
In order to see if the 23 works with the 25 or the 25 works with the 23, I'm gonna have to pull this top piece off of here to see exactly how it's secured under the fairing here. Now, just to show you guys, this piece right here, it's carbon, right? We have this replaced on here. This is the OEM piece right here. This is the piece I pulled off of it. And you can see this piece right here, put on the ground so I can point at it. This is exactly the same as the 25, no change. Remember I told you about that, the way it's secured, the back of it? See, exactly the same way. This is the exact same piece as the 25, and it looks exactly the same here too. What's changed is this whole inlet piece right here, and I'm curious to see how it secures if that changed at all, and to see what's compatible and what you'll need if you want to convert your 23 or 20 plus bike into a 25. So the way this piece, and this is two different pieces, one piece here and one piece here, they do not connect together, two separate pieces. The way this works is there's usually something underneath here in the front, two bolts right here, which is what it used to be. Now we still have the same thing, but this actually connects to it. So there's a hole underneath here, one hole each side, one hole right there, one hole on the other side, that you stick, I think it's a T25, you go through here, or a T20, pull that out, and then this whole front piece will pop off of here. Now we gotta do this blind because it's kind of really in there. So let's see if the T20 works, because the T20 worked on the older models. I can't tell. Let's try a T25. It seems like there's some wiggle room in there. There, T25. All right, let's see. Jeez, they're pretty tight.
That's what she said.
And that is definitely a new screw for 25. I don't remember ever securing the bottom of it with this. All right, I think I got this figured out for you guys. If you have a 20 plus bike, let's say you have a 20 through 24, and you want to convert it to a 25, you're gonna need to get this lower piece, and that's this piece right here. Not this exact one because this is from a 23, but this is to give you an example of what the piece looks like right here. It's like some lower mounting bracket for the fairings themselves. It doesn't work with the 25 stuff. The holes do not line up whatsoever. On the bottom here, when I try to put it in here, let's see if I can do this with one hand. You can see it's just not fitting right. The mounting holes aren't proper with the bracket. None of this works right, so it's not gonna work, the lower piece. So the lower piece does though, you can see the mounting positions of the lower piece, which are gonna be there and there, right? The mounting pieces, which are the same exact ones here. So the mounting surface is the same for 20 plus bikes. You'll just need to get that plastic piece and the fairings themselves. When I say fairings themselves, it's just this side and then this side. There's like two sides to this. And the center piece may or may not come with this. I'm not sure. It looks like it actually detaches from here, so you may have to get this piece as well. So now we got that figured out, let me put the top of this thing back together, and then we'll swap mid fairings from bike to bike. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna swap.
I think that if you were to do something like this, you'd rather just order a full fairing kit at 20, like if you want to put a 25 fairing kit on your 23 or 22, whatever, just order a full fairing kit with the top bracket, with the top fairing bracket. Then I think you should be good, and just try to swap things around and just see what can fit where.
The mid fairing from the 25 to the 23 and the 23 to the 25. So you guys get a good visual of what it looks like between the two bikes. To remove the fender on the 23 is really simple. We have to push off the logo here, which you reach on the inside. Let me see if I can do it while I'm one-handing this whole thing here. See, the logo kind of pushes out.
Just pops out, yeah.
There we
And
go.
there's a screw
And there's
here.
the main fairing holder right there, the main fairing bolt right there. There's one right over there. There's gonna be one right here. And then there's 1 and 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And I'm gonna pull this piece out right here. That'll remove the whole side fairing. Now in this one, I believe it's about the same process. Let me see if I can pull this logo. I haven't even tried to put my hand down here yet. Let's see.
Now you know how to take this bike
it's
apart.
coming out.
Simple.
There we go, comes out. So I just kind of gave everyone a tip there on how to steal a BMW logo, so just don't do that. It's for educational purposes only. Anyway, main screw here, another screw
educational
back
purposes
here,
only.
one screw here. These are all the same layout so far, and we have a few screws in here. I believe there's one extra. There's a fourth one, I believe, up in there. I'm going to show you guys in a little bit. While I have the fender still on here, if you guys want the 50th anniversary badges, you can get them at the dealer. You just push that right on there. See how that looks. If you guys like it, go get it. They're at the dealer.
Cool. That is dope, actually.
So now that we got all those removed, I'm gonna have to go under the front fender here. Let's see here, and check this out. All right, so under here, we've got some new stuff here. This lip, this plastic lip right here, this is something not on the 23-24 models. You'll have to definitely buy this in conjunction with any of the front pieces if you want to transfer over to a older model bike. It's just a little plastic piece down here. It looks like it kind of connects to the lip of the new front, but also the way this connects, you can see, let me see if I can get you in here, guys.
There's a bit of a
All right,
squeeze.
so that has to go, and I'm putting my finger on right there. This has to go. This has to go, there's one here. This has to go, and I believe that's it, and then the whole front, or a whole midframe will come out of here. Okay, now I had to pull this out, and there's one little bolt hiding behind here. It's the same on the 23, I just forgot about it. Now let's see if this will come out. There's a grommet back here, it's kind of stuck on. There we go.
It actually holds into the frame. That pops inside the frame, held on by a rubber grommet.
There she goes. Now that we got that off, you can see what's bracing those large wings right there. That's part right there. On the 23, 24 M1000R, and even on the 21, this is all carbon. This is plastic here. Now that we have the fender off, you can see the attachment to the front end of this is completely different than the 23-25 models, or the 23 even through 24. The 25 has this special piece in the front here. It looks like it detaches, and this actually secures to everything else. These are different than what we see on the 23 through 25, and the bolt are all different sizes. Even the bolt behind the logo you'll see right here is a short one, and when I go over the 23, it's gonna be a long boy. You can see on the fender itself, the red, just like the fender, has like an, it's like a piece you can pull off that's red. So it's not a permanent piece. So you could probably pull it off and make it carbon. That'd be cool. If someone can make this in carbon or whatever, both the inlets.
Or you could just pull it off and just change the color as well.
Or make it whatever color you want. It looks like it does remove off of this piece right here. Now that we've got the 25 panel removed, let's move on to the 23. See? Long boy.
Long.
All right, that should do it. Let's put the towel here so we back this thing up. It's not gonna hurt the frame. So here's something weird. I've got both the interior of the fairings out. I just wanted to see if the carbon worked from the 23 to the 25, and it does, but I thought it didn't. Because you see right here, this lines up. You see right there, that's why this screw needs to be so long, because it lines up actually with the hole for the emblem. Whereas this one goes to the emblem here, but the carbon is lined up with the hole. So the carbon upper piece will work on the mid fairing. So this is interchangeable from here to here, or if you have a third party, it'll work actually. It's just the mid fairing itself has changed, but the mounting points are all the same, except when we're talking about this piece right here. So it's a different front mount. It has this little plastic piece, this front piece, and there's a couple different screws. So not a huge change. All right, this is the end result. This is the 2025 with the 2023 wing on it. Now the main concern here, I guess, would be you can see where the top fairing meets the bottom fairing, or the head fairing, I guess you can call it, meets the mid fairing. You can see on the right side there, over on this side, You can see it's kind of nice and even, whereas on the left side here,
it's
really bulbous to the top and gets really skinny at the bottom. And
yeah,
there's also different ways to secure it at there. I can't even really secure it to the bike right now because this piece right here, this needs to be changed. This whole top needs to be changed. So if you're going to do a transfer to a mid fairing, you're going to have to do a little bit of custom work to make it fit. Now it fits on the bike just fine back there up until about here. Like I can't even secure this to the actual bike itself because this piece up top here, the plastic piece I was showing you before that secures the wing, doesn't line up properly with this. This doesn't line up properly at all. I can't make that work. All right, so I briefly put the 25 back together so I can show you guys exactly what it's going to take to convert your 20 through 24 over to a 25 if that's what your preference is. First, you're going to need the mid fairings and the top fairings. If you want to do the mid fairings only, you're going to have to do some custom work to attach these mid fairings to the centerpiece. There's no way around it. There's going to be some custom work there. Now, what I highly recommend is doing the top fairings and the mid fairings if you want to convert to a 25. And in order to do that, what you'll need here, you'll need this plastic fairing right here and this plastic fairing right here. These are two separate pieces. Now, those both secure to the bottom piece here, which you'll also need just this bottom piece here, whatever year you get. So if you're getting a 25, you'll need the 25 bottom piece. This piece is the same right here for anything 21 and above. This is exactly the same. So it's really just this piece right here we're talking about. Get all the hardware for it. And then the top will actually secure right to that. Now you have the top piece completely done. You also need this piece right here, which I'm pretty sure comes with this piece if you buy it for the 25. Moving on down, you'll need the mid fairings themselves. Now, all the screws and bolts up until about here fit just fine. So this bolt here is different. You also need what supports the wings. If you get a 25 with the wings here, of course, you'll need that part that secures over the whole thing to support these wings. That's even if you have a 23 through 24, you'll have to get the 25 specific one because they sit in different locations where this will fit or will not fit. You'll also need the extra screws through here and hardware. You also need this bottom plastic piece here that seems new that kind of ties everything together to the nose. And all the bolts that go to it because they're going to be of different size now. So the conversion is going to be the nose fairings here and the mid fairing and what's underneath there. Now, if you have a 25 and you hate these wings and you want to convert into an older bike, the easiest way in my opinion is if you can find someone that has the year that you want and they want a 25, swap fairings. It'd be the easiest swap. You can swap hardware right there on the fly. You don't have to do any custom work. It'll just be a quick swap. Now, if you want to convert your 25 into an older model, I still recommend the top fairings, the nose fairings here, and the mid fairings along with everything else. I'm really happy that we got a lot of pieces that port over, including even the mid fairing carbon, the tank huggers, the rear section. Pretty much a lot of this bike ports over for modifications we already know about the bike. So that's your comprehensive video on what works between the 23 and 25 and how to port everything over to the 25 and what works.
Nice, beautiful. That's BT Motor. So as I said, I really think that if you want to do your whole fairing setup from scratch, I honestly believe that you must just buy a full fairing kit. Just buy a full fairing kit, even if you buy from Monster Fairings or wherever. Buy a full fairing kit, then just port everything, then you should be sharp. Then your old fairings of the 25, your old 23 fairings, maybe 2020 to 23 or 24, you can just put them away or sell them. But I wouldn't sell them. I'll probably just put them away. But yeah, now we know. So comment below if you think that this would be a good idea, and comment below of how you think that this would actually work. But one thing I know for sure, after a lot of people see this video and understand what's happening here, there's going to be a whole lot of catfishes out there, bro. So it's going to be very, very important that if you go buy a 2025 bike, make sure it's a 2025, even registered on the bike. Even registered on the papers and on the frame. It's very, very, very important. Don't forget, just comment below and tell me what you guys think. Oh, hi, by the way.